is this, is when you are working at one of the big outfits, and I see them all the time, you know, they'll pull up to a job, and it might not be, it might be a commercial job, you know, an HOA or whatever, you know. Same concept. They'll pull up to a job, $100 lawn job, and I see them over there in the big $1 million neighborhoods all the time. They'll pull up to a job, and it'll be, you know, $100, $150 cut, and they'll have 5 guys on the truck, and 5 guys will jump out and get to work. But what that does is, well, they're not paying them shit, or not paying them what I pay, not even close. And also, it makes it where you don't have to be that efficient, because the company you're working for is overwhelming the job with labor. You don't have to think. You don't have to, you know, go outside the box, if you will. You don't have to worry about getting this or that, because he's going to get it if you don't. Of course, the pay is accordingly. So when you come out here and work for a guy like me, and you go to that same exact property, instead of being there, you know, 30 minutes with 4 or 5 guys, you're there an hour with just 1 guy and well, 2 guys, me and 1 other guy. But you're making the same money, but you don't have to pay out. So what I've done, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, what I've done in the past and still do to this day, is I tell the guys, look, you got to be a thinker out here. You got to, every move's got to count, because when you jumped out of that truck on this same property and you had 4 other guys and you were there for 25 minutes, well, there's so much labor. I mean, how do you screw that up? You got so much labor. You got, you know, 4 guys. We'll just say 4 guys, and that's conservative from some of the jobs that I've seen. I've seen it where they got 5 or 6 guys in one of them big trucks, Isuzu trucks, where it's got the double cab. They'll have, you know, 3 guys in the back and sitting in the back seat, and 2 or 3 guys in the front. But the point I'm trying to make is, you don't have to worry about efficiency. You don't have to worry about thinking things through. You don't have to worry about anything other than doing your small little part of whatever your responsibility is. And I don't know how they operate. I would assume that on every job, I'm going to know what Mo, Curly, and Larry, I'm going to know what each one of them is good at. And so I'm going to put Mo on the back, weed eating. I'm going to put Curly, you know, on the front, weed eating. I'm going to put Larry on the edger, and then I'm going to get on a mower, and then the other guy's going to get on a mower, and then when the guy gets done edging, you know, that guy can blow. But all this is happening really fast on the job. That's what I think that they do. I don't know that to be a fact, but I would just about bank that they are have different jobs for each guy on there. When you work for me, all that is out the window. When you go to the backyard, you're going from the back to the truck, weed eating everything. You're not going from the back, and then not do the front, not weed eat the front and go to the truck. With the big company, you'll weed eat the back, the other guy will weed eat the front, and then bam, you don't have to weed eat the front. So now you don't really have to move with a purpose like you do if you're working with me. Of course, you're not making the kind of money out there that you're making working with me either, but you might be getting a lot more hours in, because they can give you a lot of hours because they're not paying you nothing. $15 an hour, $16 an hour. I'd be willing to bet that these crews or these big outfits around here, and I don't know for sure, I'd be willing to bet that the average guy coming in, he ain't making $20 an hour. I don't think. I guess I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So, well, what happens when guys, when I hire guys and I know that they work for some of the bigger outfits, I already know what I'm getting. And this guy fits that to a T. I can tell that he's got a whole heap of experience doing the properties, doing a great job, doing all the weed eating, doing, you know, moving around the properties fast with a weed eater, knowing exactly what to do, the logistics of doing the actual labor on the job. Very good at that. But what I know with guys that work for the bigger companies too is they don't work efficient because they don't have to, because they got 3 other guys on the same job, and that is hard for them to get past, because I'm preaching efficiency all day, every day. And you can see a guy, you know, I can put a weed eater in dude's hands and I can watch him weed eat, and I'll be like, damn, dude is moving good, man. Damn, boy, man, he ain't missed nothing. And then you see him go back to the same spot twice. Then you see him go from this side of the yard back to that side of the yard. You'll see him edge with a stick edger, and then you'll see him go back with a weed eater. You know, if you're going to stick edge, you shouldn't have to weed eat it. You're double working. If you're not, you know, that's my thinking. Now, if you happen to be walking by it on the way back to the truck, then okay, you might be able to touch it up where the edger might not have got it. But we're not going out of our way to do that. We're not. And the way I do things might be different than the way the big outfits do things. I don't know. I've never been at a big outfit, so I have no idea. What I do know is, for me, I like to work from the back of the yard back to the truck. I see guys all the time, and it happens all the time. They get out of we're getting ready to blow off. They're getting ready to blow off. I'm still wrapping up the front yard, you know, because I started in the back as well. You know, I'm talking about on typical yards. So I'm at the front yard, and backyard is done, and they're done edging, weeding, and everything. So they get the blower, and there they are out by the trailer blowing the road and shit off. And I have not even cut the bottom front portion of the yard yet. I haven't even cut out there by the road. Those are the kind of things that really drive me bat crazy out here, because I know that you're having to double work. And it ain't me that's having to double work, but you dragging the time. Not meaning to, but that's what's happening. Bose was notorious for that. A lot of guys, I mean, just about every guy I've ever had out here, they implement that. They do their part, and you know, and I'm timing everything. So when the mower's done, we're ready to go. He's not waiting on me to get done. I'm not waiting on him to get done. Or if we are, the mower just pulls up on the trailer, and he's blowing off where I pulled up on the trailer at. And I'm watching everything from the mower, timing it out. So guys that come out here, they always, when they grab the blower, they start blowing the road off. I don't know what the hell I don't know why they do that. Because guess what? They're going to have to blow the road again. And I'm not talking about them just cranking the blower up and walking to where they need to start blowing at. No, they're walking up and down the road, going and blowing that before I'm even done mowing. And then that makes me have to slow up on the mower, because now I got to be a little more strategic about where I blow the grass. And then what ends up happening anyway is they end up going to the backyard. You know, they find out, say, woo, start in the back, you know, on every freaking job. Start in the back. You know, let me finish up mowing here, and then I can, you know, get some of the road with the mower. You're going to do less work, and you're going to make better time, and you're not going to be as tired. Because on a lot of jobs, I can blow the road off with the mower. Not every one, but a lot of them I can. But anyway, we pull it to the next job, they do the same thing. And I'm like, woo, starting the back. Woo, starting the back. And then 2 weeks go by, we're back at the same job again. Woo, starting the back. I mean, it's like I have to say it every freaking day, every job. And to me, that is a sign that they've never had to work in a structured environment like that to where their moves meant as much as they mean now, working for a guy like me versus working for a big company. Their moves and the money they're making per move is double what the money they're making per move when they're working for a big company. You're not ever going to make good money out on a job or top dollar on a job and not have to be efficient. But I don't understand that. And what ends up happening is they get frustrated with me because I'm telling them the exact same thing on every job. And you know, and it ain't because I'm trying to be a control freak. It's because I don't want them to work any harder, because I know we got 8 more yards to do. You know, and I don't want them to double work. If you're gonna double work, then I don't want to pay top dollar. Well, the harder they work, the more money they should make. No, the smarter they work, the more money they should make. The better time they make, the more money we should make. That's how that goes. The better time that an employee makes on a property, the more money he should get paid. But in the beginning of coming out here working with me, and with my experience, so I am a little bit biased with all the time that I've been out here. And for me, it's all the same, right? Because whether I'm training Bo or Zach or Dylan or Scott or Drew or Justin or whoever, to me, you train one, then okay. You train two, okay. Well, by the time you start training 10 or 15 people over the years, it's redundantly, to me, it's just like, yeah, that. It's repetitive. And I get frustrated because guys don't pick up quick enough. But they want top pay. And no matter what anybody says, you know, anything worth having, you're going to go through some shit to get it. Nothing worth having is easy. It ain't. Just ask anybody successful. You know, they went through something to get to the level that they're at. Rather, and I'm not talking about me, but I have been through some shit. So we all go through some stuff. It's what we do on the other side of that makes us who we are, and what kind of you know, tenacity we have. Okay, y'all, yeah, boys, dusty over here, man, and it was really tall, man. It took longer than normal, but you know, pretty bad, man, really. Okay, y'all, so I got done with the bamboo side. I got done with the one in the neighborhood. Ended up doing $530. It's almost 3 o'clock. Not real good, really, but you know, it is what it is, man. And I done been by the bank and everything, so yeah. But other than that, man, just you know, took care of what I need to take care of today, and tomorrow I'll be doing I'm looking forward to getting off the mowers, man. It's just so freaking dusty, man. I mean, tell you what, man, if it had been like this when I first started my business, I don't think I ever would have made it, man. It's brutal. It's brutal. I got customers calling me, telling me not to come and all that, man. I got so many messages on my phone that I hadn't even addressed any of them yet. So I like to be able to sit down. Me and Sweet Pea, we'll go over all that after I get some lunch in me. And cutting the bamboo site with one mower, that's that's a lot to cut, man. That's why I haven't put the new blades on the mower or nothing. Like I said earlier, man, I got a bunch of work, man. Trying to get these lawns wrapped up where I ain't got to cut no grass, you know, because that's the least paying stuff that I do. Cutting grass is the least paying. The only way to make a lot of money, not a lot, but the only way to make really good money in the lawn mowing game is to have great density, good equipment, and yeah, and really high efficiency. If you're not efficient, just stay home, man. See, I haven't been really efficient the last 6 weeks or so. Not as efficient as I normally am. See, when you have a guy like when I had Zach out here, see, Zach had been out here so long that Zach knew all the properties. So every summer we would hit the ground running. You know, this year I was taxed to begin with my other guy, and then you know, training and everything. And then when he quit, I was taxed with the new guy, and it makes everything take longer, you know. And there's a lot of things you have to redo and go back over and all that too, you know, not just, it ain't just, and then on top of all that, you're not being efficient either, because you're having to, you're having to make sure everything's getting done like the customer expects it. When you got new guys working for you, that's what you have to do. The customer should not know the difference in a guy that's been out here 10 years or a guy that's been out here 2 weeks. The customer should not know the difference. That's what you want. So when you got new guys working for you, and I've had that pretty much all summer, I'm having to kind of, you know, it's costing me a little bit more to do the properties because I'm having to kind of go behind them, and, you know, like that saw job over there that the other dude screwed up. I might have to address that. Yeah, just a lot of little things. You don't think nothing about it until you look at, damn, man, it's 3 o'clock and I made less money than yesterday when I worked till 1. That's the kind of thing that you run into. It's okay as long as everybody is learning and picking up what you know, whatever you're putting down, you know, as far as technique and efficiency and all. I don't mind training, you know, to a certain degree. I expect guys to pick it up though if I'm paying them a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, north of $20 an hour, they ought to know. At $20 an hour, they ought to know how to weed eat and everything. At $25 an hour, they ought to know how to weed eat. They ought to know every way to weed eat, and they ought to know how to move through the property and flow with it and make good time. At $30 an hour, I expect them to be able to do everything efficiently, not just. Big difference in being able to do everything, mower, weed eat, blow, and all that. It's a big difference in being able to do that and being efficient at doing it. By the mere fact that you know, I got top of the line mowers, you're gonna there's no reason why you shouldn't be efficient mowing. But I have had guys out here in the past that would take twice as long to mow something as me, and same yard, you know, because they don't have a technique. So I just feel dust all in my every crevice. My eyes, my ears, my nose, my lips, everything. But I just got me a Chick-fil-A today. I'm good. What it is, man, it's Sammy time. Sir, y'all. Deuces.